here with American Villain. This is a special edition of Villain View.
Boom!
Saturday morning at 11 a.m. East Coast time in Rochester, New York. It's a lovely afternoon. I'm here with Mr. Marc Hauss.
How are you guys all doing?
How you doing, man?
Interwebs? I'm doing good.
You're live on America.com.
Hi, America. How you doing?
This is a special edition. We're going to talk about some wrestling today. Typically with Villain View and what American Villain does, we tend to talk about music and artists that we work with. But we also work with wrestlers, and Marc was our first wrestler that we've ever sponsored.
Boom! Right there.
That's right. He was our first virgin wrestler. Is that what you're trying to say? My producer's trying to give me cue cards. He sucks at it.
I'm not interested in you. I'm sorry. We're not going to do that later. Absolutely not.
Well, we're going to have some fun, and we're going to talk about wrestling for the next 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour or two. I don't know. I know Marc has a match later, which we'll get into and talk about, because I have some questions about this particular match that you have tonight.
Absolutely.
So wrestling is near and dear to me. It's something that I've watched and grew up with since I was a boy. And a lot of people like to say it's geeky or, it's not cool, depending on who you talk to.
It's the purest form of art and entertainment. Think about it.
It is.
Think about it. There is no other art form that is as sophisticated. Now I'm probably going to get a lot of crap for that. But in terms of having to perform and remember things and the physicality and the emotion and all of that, everyone has their own, but I feel that's one of the harder forms of entertainment to be able to really pull it off.
I would agree, and that's why I'm a huge fan of it. The storyline, the characters, it's better than a lot of just regular shows you would watch on TV, and the athletic part of it
and it's
on
real
top
time.
of it. Exactly.
Real time.
Real time. There's no do-overs.
No, there is not.
You miss a spot and it's kind of you're moving on, or you're just straight up hurt. Right?
Oh yeah. Then you look bad, and then you got to figure out how to show your ass and feel good about it and move on. It's tough.
So let's talk a little bit about how you got into professional wrestling. Tell me where it all started for you. Where did the passion come from?
For me, it was really funny because when I was a kid, my parents never let me watch it.
Really?
Nope, they didn't want me to do it. They didn't want me to emulate it. They didn't want anything to do with it. So
okay.
I was told that I could not watch wrestling for the longest time, and I was banned from it.
It was taboo in your household?
Yep. And I remember I was 13. I got into it late. I was 13 years old, and it was my 13th birthday, and we had a party, and we were able to stay up all night. And ECW came on at 3 in the morning at TNN, and I was like, what is this? And I started watching it, and it was I think it was the Dudley Boys versus Spike Dudley and Rhino. And
Really?
they ended up having this match, and I was hooked. And then I got in with my friends doing backyard wrestling, and I had all the shirts, and I watched it all the time. And now it's really funny because now, 15, 16 years later, I'm wrestling full-time all over the place, and my mom absolutely hates it. She supports me now, but she hates it.
Does she come to your matches ever?
No.
Never.
She's been to 4 of them in my entire career.
So,
she's just afraid that I'm going to get hurt.
Yeah, well, of course.
So she doesn't want to watch it.
So does she come to special ones or just random?
The ones that I tell her are important.
Okay.
I tell her and I beg and I plead of her, and then she comes. So she comes once every couple of years when it's a really big moment.
Okay.
So it's good. She comes when she can, but she always calls me every day and she goes, "Where are you this weekend? Have fun, be safe." She does watch my video casts.
I was going to ask that.
So she does watch those because there's less wrestling on it. So she gets to live vicariously through me through the weekends on that without having to watch wrestling.
Okay. So, was it always ECW for you, or WWF, WWE, whatever the time frame
honestly,
was?
at that time, I liked it all. I was so obsessed with it. That's all I would watch. I had tapes upon tapes, and all I would do is watch tapes all day, play the video games all day. I would eat, sleep, and breathe it, and that was it. There was nothing else to my life. There was school, sports, because I felt I had to do it, and wrestling. That was all I did.
So what sports did you play in school?
Oh my God.
You didn't wrestle, did you?
I wrestled for one summer when I was a young kid, and it was really funny. I was really young, under 10, and some kid ripped my shirt, and I cried about it because I was mad that he ripped my favorite shirt, and so I quit wrestling.
Marc Hauss, the American Villain, cried.
I cried. I was 8, man. Come on. I cried a little bit because he ripped my favorite shirt.
We'll edit that part out.
Come on. But no, I played everything. I'm not really good at one sport, but I'm okay at a lot of them. I played track and field, lacrosse, basketball, soccer, baseball, cross country, bowling. I did everything.
So you've always been an athletic kid
Oh, yeah.
going into your adulthood.
Yes.
You know, so let's talk about, like, because you travel a lot, and you can find Marc on every social media platform. You can come to American Villain's Facebook page. He pretty much is all over that as well. Our website, but he does a podcast every week, right?
Well, I'm going to be starting to do a podcast with you, my friend,
Well,
here. But I do a video cast.
You do the video cast, that's what I meant.
It's
yeah.
the day in the life, or actually just the weekends and how I live my life from Friday to Sunday when I stop living normal life and start living wrestling life.
Well, because let's keep in mind, America, he works a regular job, like suit and tie job during the week.
Oh, yeah.
And then he takes that suit and tie off and becomes the American Villain, basically.
It's pro wrestling.
Well, depending on what you got going on, right? Because sometimes you're a heel and sometimes you're a face, right?
Yeah, but I'm still the American Villain no matter what. People cheer the American Villain. They love it.
Well,
They love what it stands for, and they love, I mean, once you get it out there, especially when we get out there, the motto of what American Villain is, people love it, they eat it up, and I can still be American Villain, be that good guy. They love it.
Whose house? Marc's house.
That's right.
All day long. So let's talk about, like, you know, when you travel, a lot of times you're traveling by yourself. Sometimes you team up with, you know, another guy, maybe that's going to the same event if he's in this area, or you link up or something.
Mm-hmm.
So you travel, you do your thing, sometimes you travel back, you stay in hotel rooms. Let's talk about that, the pros and cons of it. I mean, I know you're away from your family a lot. So tell me a little bit about that stuff and what you like and what you don't like.
I'll be brutally honest. When it comes to pro wrestling, you have to marry it. If you want to make it, you have to marry it. I have lost friends, family, fiancés, girlfriends, jobs, opportunities. I've missed everything. And I still miss everything because I want it that badly. I mean, on an average weekend, I get in the car. I drive, 1,000 to 1,500 miles a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up for 20, 30 hours at a time, wrestling at shows, selling merchandise, meeting people. I mean, the glorious thing about it is that I can go to any town within like a 200, 300 mile radius, and there's somebody that I can be like, hey, can I stay at your house? Hey, want to hang out?
That's awesome.
It's the coolest thing in the world. I mean, it's like touring bands. It's like anything with entertainment. You put in the hours, and people only see the edited version of your life. They don't see the long hours on the road,
right,
by yourself, listening to music, trying to keep yourself awake, wondering why you do it sometimes.
The training and the practice during the regular week.
Oh yeah, I mean, on an average week,
to...
I'm working those 40 hours, and then I help run a school for 2 days out of the week, and then you got to go to the gym, and then you got to travel on the weekend. So it's a 7-day-a-week, nonstop, 16 to 18 hours a day.
Right, and you pretty much are. That's your job 24 hours a day, because a call could come in that they need you at an event coming up, so you got to kind of handle that, and plus you're doing your social media thing and promoting and hustling. It's very similar to how bands should be ran. That's how it's kind of a mirror image of being in a band. That's
for sure.
That's why I felt us doing this interview with you here on Villain View, which typically is, you know, band oriented.
Yeah.
But it's just so similar.
It is, and it's hard because I wish I had like a full band. I wish I had more than just me to be able to
somebody to lean on.
Because legitimately, it's at work, it's on my breaks and on my lunch. I'm not doing anything but answering emails, looking for opportunities, and all this other stuff. And then I go from there to getting out of work and going from one job to the other and having just enough time to eat a meal. Like there's no time.
Yeah.
But you got to do what you got to do if you want to make it.
So, you know, when you go to these, you know, I know you do a lot of big things here in Rochester with Upstate Professional Wrestling, and there's actually a pretty decent event tonight.
Yeah, the 13th anniversary.
Is that what it is?
Amazing for independent shows to be around for 13 years.
And you guys pretty much do these shows once a month, right? So this is
every second Saturday, every month. We're either at Pineapple Jack's or at the Eagles Club.
So we're talking about over 150 events that this organization has put together.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And for it to just kind of stay and, you know, be profitable and have the money to put back in to
especially
do the show the following month.
When we have a following of 300 to 500 on the low end every month, which is amazing to me that after all these years, there's still that demand, there's still that, so you're doing something right.
And it's cool when you go to these events you guys put on because it's almost like a family event. Everybody kind of knows each other, you know, the fans know each other. You guys come out and you mingle with the fans, you know, during the intermission and whatnot.
Yep.
So, you know, I think it's good to kind of keep that family unity because it makes them want to keep coming back. And, you know, if you guys were all standoffish every time you guys did an
Why
event,
would we want to go? And I love it too because you have fans that didn't know each other prior to coming to UPW. And now they become best friends because they knew each other from wrestling. And like you said, the family just grows. It's funny because you have all these people from all these different areas driving in, and all become really good friends. So it turns into basically one big party where they get to watch wrestling. It's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, I would suggest if you have time tonight, definitely get out. It's at the Eagles Club.
Yep, at 6 o'clock, the Eagles Club. We got a good card, and we got a lot of stuff. We actually got Carlito from WWE who's going to be there tonight, so you should be there. And Ricky Reyes from Lucha Underground, be there tonight.
Oh, so there might be some high-flying stuff.
Oh, there's going to be some high flying. We just signed Ricky Reyes, so he's going to be there. He just took a couple days off from Lucha Underground, and he's coming out to us, and he's going to be on the show tonight. We just found out 2 days ago.
I did see that on Facebook. So is this just a one-off thing for him, or is he going to be back?
He might be back. He comes around at least once a year, but we were lucky enough because we wanted to have him there, and the schedules conflicted. But now he was free, so he made the trip out for us.
Who's he wrestling tonight?
I have no idea. To be honest with you, it was a last minute, so we'll find out when we get there.
Okay, good. So let's talk about your opponent tonight.
Sure.
Which happens to be my son Max's favorite independent wrestler right now.
Not me, but
well, other than
this
you,
wrestler.
of course.
This wrestler.
So who are you wrestling tonight?
Friggin' monkey.
You are wrestling a monkey.
A monkey. A space monkey.
A monkey from space.
Yes, a space monkey.
Now I've seen this monkey wrestle.
Yeah.
And he's actually pretty good. So what's your tactics with this guy? I mean, he's kind of unorthodox.
I don't know. A right punch to the face will usually knock him down. Then I'll rip his tail off. And then if he tries to throw any poop at me, because that's not happening. If he tries to throw poop at me, I'm going to take his tail and I'm going to smack him in the face with his own tail. That's what I'm going to do.
Yes. Unfortunately, I can't be there tonight because I have to work, but
I'll make sure to take my phone out and probably Snapchat me beating the monkey up for you.
yes, please do. And send that to me later.
Oh, I will.
So that way I can pass it on to show my son that
Friggin' monkey.
his monkey got his ass kicked.
Yeah. Don't doubt me. I am better than the monkey. You better convert over.
Just watch that tail, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm going to start with that. Give a big Hogan leg drop to that tail. That's done.
So, the monkey aside, you've been in the ring with what I would consider to be a few legends. Let's talk about that. And who was your favorite legend that you've been in the ring with?
Favorite legend or name? I enjoy being in there with, I remember Hurricane?
Mm-hmm.
I got in there with Hurricane. He taught me so much.
Didn't you go to a camp or something that he...
I went to a camp, and then afterwards I got to wrestle him on the show.
Okay.
But it was really fun to go out there and just do things like that. It's cool for me to be able to go out there with guys that are names that have been on TV that I watched as a kid or I watched coming up through the ranks, to be able to go in there and be an equal to them. It's the coolest feeling in the world. And a lot of them, you would think that, because they've been up to the top, they're very, they're not going to talk to you, not going to give you the time of day, and a lot of them become close friends of mine where I talk to them on a weekly basis.
Get really pointers and tips and things like that?
Just that and just life, like just hanging out outside of wrestling. It's been kind of nice.
Well, not only in the ring tips and pointers, but even on the business side of it.
Oh, for sure. They've helped me out so much with helping create a brand and market it.
Yeah, and that's essentially what you are, is your own brand.
You have to be.
And that's, I hope that other wrestlers that are coming up, they understand that, it's all scripted and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's a winner and a loser, obviously. But it doesn't, with wrestling, it typically doesn't even matter who wins or loses. It's all about how you get over with the fans.
How you present yourself and what kind of person and character that you are.
Right.
If you can put that over and you can make something of it and, again, create that brand where I spent years and years and years floundering around with no direction, no one to help me, and then I finally figured it out, and I've asked everybody, and now I've created a brand. And to be honest with you, that branding and being able to make that for myself has, gone over into real life, where now I can take those skills towards jobs and help out in every aspect of any job to help them grow.
And know how to present yourself to get to the next step.
Absolutely.
So, Brutus the Barber Beefcake. You've wrestled him before, right?
Yeah, I did.
So, what happened with the barber there?
Well, I can give you two stories. I can give you one where I didn't wrestle him, and it was amusing. I showed up at this show, and
this is completely unfiltered, so you can say whatever you
like.
like.
Good.
You can say whatever you'd like.
So, good. I was trying to hold myself back because I don't know. So, we get...
Let it all out, brother.
I get to the show. I'm not going to name the show because it's a piece of shit. I'm not going to name it. But I was at the show, and I showed up. This is the first time I ever met Brutus. And I show up in the locker room, and he's got a 30 rack of Natty Ice. He's in a jock strap, so his ass is hanging out. And he's doing push-ups against the wall to keep himself in shape, which I don't know how a push-up against the wall will do anything for you.
I don't know.
Because you're not doing anything but, like, drunkily leaning. Just and he turns around with a beer in his hand, with his dick hanging out, shakes my hand, goes, "I'm Brutus. How you doing, brother?" Good, man. Turns around, back to his push-ups, sipping his Natty Ice. It was the But, like, I got like a ton of those stories like that. But then when I actually wrestled him, he's like, "See you out there, kid." Okay. So we go out there and wrestle.
No talking beforehand?
Not really.
No spots?
No,
You're going to
nothing.
do this, you're going to do that?
He literally pat me on the back and says, "Good luck." And we went out there, and he's getting older, and he doesn't really move around much, so I had to pretty much run around and do as much as stuff. But the worst part is that he cut my hair at the end.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get it cut. I was like, at least have the shears. No, he had little safety scissors. So he cut lines like this in my head on the left-hand side.
Oh my God.
And I was in Canada. So as I'm going across the border, I didn't have a hat. And they started questioning me. And they thought I was on drugs because I had 2 stripes on the side of my head that looked like this.
No, sir, I just wrestled Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
And they were like, "Sir, you need to pull over," because they thought I was full of shit and on drugs, because who's going to go across and, "Yeah, I wrestled Brutus, that's where I got these from." They're going to go, no, you didn't. Go in. So I was like, "Oh, fine." So they questioned me for like 2 hours. I had to pull out the video, and I had to call the promoter, and I had to freaking be like, "Here you go, I did this." And they finally let me go because they thought I was on drugs.
Wow.
It was bad.
Yeah, well, that's an excuse they've never heard before.
Yeah, I'm going to blame Brutus Beefcake. Who does that?
Where's he from anyway? Do you
I
know?
think it's from Tampa.
Tampa? Okay,
Yeah,
I wasn't
it's
sure.
Tampa.
Maybe he was like a Canadian legend or something.
No, they just brought him in for a show, and I was lucky enough to wrestle him and get my hair cut. I had to shave my head after that and start over again with my hair. I was not pleased.
Jesus. So now we talked about the legends that you've been in the ring with. Let's talk about some of the up and coming independent guys that maybe you wrestle more often than some of the others. Who out there that you see at these events that you go to is really sticking out to you as somebody that's kind of climbing the ladder?
I mean, it depends. Do you want someone that's like on a student level that's just starting up, or someone on my level that's working up? Because like we're all on the same, like there's different levels of it. Because there's a kid that trains at UPW that I'm helping with his growth, and the kid, I'm not gonna lie, he came in and I looked at him and I go, "No, he's never gonna make it. Kid's got nothing." He told me his story. He was trying to backyard wrestle and did a swanton bomb on his trampoline and landed on his neck, almost broke his neck.
Ooh.
And the kid is maybe 120 pounds, soaking wet.
What's his name?
Jeremy Jensen.
Jeremy Jensen. Okay.
Just Jeremy Jensen. And he was very shy, and I remember one day we were doing promo class. And he didn't really have personality, he was very reserved, and I yelled at him to the point where he cried. Like literally, like made him feel awful, and I felt bad about it. But he finally told me his story, and when he told the story, he finally let it all out and goes, "Oh, it's okay. It's okay for me to tell you who I am." And then from that point forward, the kid's got a mouth on him where he can talk all day. The kid is like the new Spike Dudley. He just takes a beating, gets back up, and come on, let's go, and gets people so riled up because he's got the heart to be able to fight back. And that kid is going to make waves. He's been wrestling a year now, and he has made leaps and bounds compared to most people.
Nice. So Jeremy Jensen. That's
Just Jeremy Jensen. See him tonight
Jensen.
at UPW if you go.
You guys better go.
And if you do decide to go tonight, drop my name at the door. Have him come get me. We'll get you discount tickets.
You hear that?
That's right.
Can't beat that. So let's talk about, maybe a wrestler or two that's on your level that maybe is ready to take that next step and maybe get, NXT or, get Ring of Honor type deal. Who's out there?
I mean, there's a couple of them. There's one here locally that's amazing. I would say he's technically more sound than me, and his character's down, but there's Captain Nick Ando, my former tag team partner.
Yeah.
He was out with an injury and came back, but he is solid. He is one of my favorite acts to watch and characters to watch in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Comes out, he's got the captain's hat, and then comes out the Gilligan's Island theme. He's got a big long fur jacket. It just comes out as a total scumbag, and I love it. And he's so good at it.
I seen him wrestle Tommy Dreamer
Yep.
in a hardcore match out in Syracuse last year.
For 2CW?
Yeah, 2CW. Yep. X-Pac was there.
It was good, wasn't it?
Oh, it was really good because American Villain was there. We were a sponsor of the show. It was a concert, but they had, in between bands, they had wrestling going on, which for me, that was the best day ever, you know, metal and wrestling.
We got everything for you.
And then all of a sudden, and I didn't even know that he was wrestling Tommy Dreamer. I knew Dreamer was there, obviously. They advertised him as being one of the headliners. And the next thing I know, they're like wrestling each other and throwing garbage cans at each other right in front of the
Oh, you loved
booth.
it. You must have loved it.
No, I did. It was great. It was awesome. So, not to like take this to like a downer level
No,
or
it's
be,
fine.
you know, buzzkill level, but you recently had a pretty significant injury that you had to work through.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of what you guys go through on a day-to-day. This could happen at any time.
Oh yeah.
So let's kind of talk about that and your road to recovery. And was it a setback for you? Do you think it's, you know, going to propel you further because of that, because you overcame it?
All the above. It almost ended my career.
Right.
I was at that mindset where I almost quit many a times. I had to have a lot of people talk me off the ledge because I wrestling for 13 years, you know, I'm not getting any younger, I'm 30, and I got hurt and tore my ACL, tore the meniscus, strained the LCL, the MCL, the PCL, did everything. And they were like, you know, you might want to think about not wrestling again. We're going to put you in for surgery. We'll try to get you back in 6 to 9 months, but we don't know how it's going to be. And did the recovery, and this is the first time in 13 years I've ever gotten injured more than bumps and bruises. So I didn't know how to handle it. And like my knee didn't feel like it was healing correctly, and I was just, it was, on top of being the first real like injury I've had in general with life, other than a couple broken bones, like learning how to walk again and watching everybody pass you by and looking at opportunities. Because I was just, at that point was holding like 4 or 5 championships and main eventing a lot of shows and like really on that ride up. And as soon as I was making my way up and doing something myself, the rug got pulled out from underneath, and then I had to start over again. And that's like the hardest place to be when you, even with like a band or anything you do in life, when you're finally doing something you love and you're getting to that point of success, and then you lose it all to have to start over again because life tests you. It's hard to pick yourself back up and go, okay, let's do this again. Most of the time you're like, oh, I'll find something else to do because it's rough.
Right.
And I was supposed to come back in like 9 months. I was back in 5, wrestling, and had to change my style and whatnot, but now I'm finally getting back to that place again where I'm getting back to where I was, which is good. But I mean, yeah, it's a very lonely road because people don't understand. There's a few people that understand to have the injuries, but for the most part, people feel bad for you and they feel sorry for you. But it doesn't change the fact that you still got to put in all that extra work just to get back to normal.
Now, did this injury happen in the ring, or were you training?
Yeah, practice.
At practice?
I was doing something very small. I went for lockups and I went to turn and it just popped.
And you knew right away?
No, I wrestled on it for 7 weeks. I went to the gym on it for 7 weeks until one day I did a leapfrog. I jumped up, came down, and the knee just blew out and fell out. And I was in New York City, so I had to drive. We left there at 7 at night on a Sunday. I had to be at work the next day. We drove through the night with my leg cocked sideways in the back of a car while it swelled up with everything torn in it. And then went to work, and then went to practice. And then when I got to practice, the knee gave out again. They got me in. I went to the doctor's the next day. Usually it's like 4 to 6 weeks before they schedule surgery. They had me in a couple days later.
Yeah, because you're lucky you didn't do more damage to it.
Oh yeah.
Just by dicking around and not getting in there right away.
Yeah.
You know, but you're healthy now, right?
I'm healthy. I'm ready to go. I'm actually stronger than I've ever been because now I'm motivated. I have one goal and that's it. So I just gym, wrestle, watch product. That's it. All day, every day.
I think you've trimmed down a little bit too. I mean.
Man, the surgery was the worst because I couldn't cook for myself because usually I'm the one to cook for myself, and everybody was bringing me over food, and it was great. But it was all carbs, it was all fats, it was all just pastas and lasagnas and stews, and I was super happy, but I gained like 40 pounds.
Wow.
And I've gone on 6 meals a day, gym a couple days a week, practice, cardio, and I've cut it all down, and I'm actually more in shape than I was previous to the injury.
So let's talk about your gym routine. What's a typical Marc Hauss gym routine through the week?
Right now I'm doing 3 days a week, but they're about 2.5, 3 hour sessions. There's this gentleman in New York City named Logan Black. And,
who's also an American Villain sponsored
yes,
wrestler,
he is.
right?
Yes, he is. He helped me out and got me on this powerlifting routine because I looked at it this way. At this point in my career, it would be nice to be shredded, but I'd rather be able to throw people around.
Right.
So plus I need the strength back in my legs. I don't really care if my legs look chiseled. I just want to be able to have the strength in them again. So usually it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are my gym days. I go about 9, 10 o'clock at night till about midnight, 1 o'clock, and then I go home and get ready for the next day to be up at 6. But Monday and Thursday is or I'm sorry, not Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, because Monday and Thursday I practice. So
Right.
5 days a week, I get out from work and I go to something else and do that. So
You hear that, bands? If any bands are watching this, that's what you guys should do as well. You should be practicing 3 to 5 times a week, whether you want to hear it or not, and playing the shows on the weekends.
Oh, I'm exhausted, but you got to do it. I'm very thankful that I have the support group that I have. I'm very thankful that American Villain pushes me. I'm thankful that I have family and friends and other wrestlers in the community that push me, because there's days that I go 4 hours of sleep and I know I got an 18-hour day coming up and I don't skip it. You just do it.
Right. So as far as your style in the ring, what would you equate? Like, if people are kind of new to you, that are familiar with the style that WWE has, who would you equate yourself as far as he's similar to my style?
I get told all the time that when people watch me, they think of Dean Malenko and Tully Blanchard.
Okay, so some old school guys.
A lot of ground and pound, a lot of I try not to waste any movement. I don't try to do a lot of flashy stuff. I get you in the ring, I get you down, and you're not getting up.
Right. Yeah, I definitely can say that's how I see it as well. And and as far as like your in-ring kind of crowd interaction and stuff, to me it reminds me of Ric Flair a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm just mouthy.
I mean, you'll straight up get mouthy with an 8-year-old kid.
I
mean,
don't care.
You have no boundaries.
If that 8-year-old kid wants to say crap to me, I'll say crap right back to him. I don't care if you're 8 or 80. You run your mouth to me, I'm going to run my mouth right back to you.
It was great at the last one I went to at Pineapple Jack's. You had a little group of some little midgets in the front there, kind of jawing at you.
Those kids, they think they're entitled because they're children. No, you'll get it just as bad, if not worse.
Yeah,
Teach you a lesson.
My son was like, I can't believe how they're talking to him. I go, they're just having fun.
Oh yeah, until they cry, and then I don't feel bad. I'll make little people cry. I don't care.
So what's coming up next for you? I mean, what do you got going on? I know you obviously have a bunch of events coming up, every weekend, but what's one that sticks out in your mind as a big one that's coming up that maybe people should know about?
I mean, they're all big, to be honest with you.
Right.
Because I'm getting to that point where they're all meaningful. So
do we have any title shots on the horizon?
June 4th, I'm wrestling in Barrie, Ontario. So it's myself, and I'm a leader of a group called the South Ontario Bandits, and there's me, my fellow bandit John Greed. There's a gentleman named Will White and Lionel Knight. 4-way for the title, and that shouldn't be too hard. I'll just use my friends to help me win some championships.
Whatever we got to do, we need to bring some gold back to the villain compound, because we don't have any right now.
Oh, let's do it. I got some gold at home. I got the Moonshine Championship that I'm defending in July. So I can, bring that over. But I got the weekend after that, I'm in Excite for Binghamton. Excite Wrestling in Binghamton, New York. I'm wrestling Greg Excellence, and I'm wrestling him for the Excite Heavyweight Championships. That's 2 weeks in a row, back to back.
Nice.
But pretty much, like, next month is a little less, because on top of doing the wrestling stuff and working a full-time job, I own part of a board game company. So
right. Yeah,
that next weekend, I'm in Dayton, Ohio, to be able to plug our first game, so I'm going to go make an appearance there instead of wrestling for a weekend.
So what's this board game that you got coming out?
So we're doing, we got many board games. The one that I am most vested in is that there's a gentleman that approached me and said that he wanted to make a pro wrestling card game, kind of like Magic, but a lot of the card games and a lot of the games that pro wrestling has made have really been awful. So we're taking a different approach to it and trying to make something that's not been done before. Make a customizable card game that you can create your whole deck online, and then make custom character and finishers and signatures for you, so that you can go in there and make one for you.
Right.
Or make one for your son or anybody. It doesn't matter. We'll make custom artwork to it and then put a deck together for you and pitch it around, so we can have people at wrestling shows be able to have this community where they play the games with their favorite wrestlers and enjoy and grow with friendships. And that's what I'm doing. And that's going to be coming out next year, because we're just getting the artwork done for it now. But we got other games that are coming out that the gentleman is producing that I'm going to help with selling. So
is it just online, or is it going to be a physical?
No, it's going to be a physical game, but you're going to go online. You can create your deck, and we'll put it all together.
Oh, and then
customize it and send it. No other card game that I know of, or a game in general, will let you put all of the pieces and components of your game together, customized for the same price as non-customized,
Mhm.
and have it sent to your house, completely made the way you want it.
That's pretty cool.
Because there's not many board games out there that do it. They're all done, and they're like, this is what you get. Us, whatever you want, you make it, we'll produce it, we'll send it to you, no extra cost.
Right. So, finishing moves. Everybody has them. Some people's are better than others. Let's talk about your finishing move. What's it called?
It's called the eviction notice.
The eviction notice.
Get out of my house. Eviction notice.
So what's the eviction notice?
It's a belly-to-back suplex to a neck breaker. Now, basically what I do is I grab a guy from the side here, I throw him up in the air, and then as he's coming down on his back, I grab his neck and slam his neck right down into the mat.
Nice.
Yeah. Usually knocks people out.
Effective every time.
Every time.
Nice. So nobody's ever kicked out after an eviction notice?
I think one or two, but that was very early on in the career when I didn't have the size or the ability to be able to really throw their neck down on the mat.
Gotcha. What's the most brutal finishing move that you've ever had done to you?
So many of them.
Any that like maybe hurt a little bit more than others? You don't have to say who did.
There's not even a finisher. No, I'll say it because he laughs about it to this day. I'll put a picture up, or I'll give you a picture, you can put it up online. There was a gentleman, I was doing a flying head scissors. Basically, he comes up, I put my legs around his head, I spin around, and he does a flip, kind of what Rey Mysterio used to do.
Yep.
Dude slipped, didn't catch me. I went up, as I spun here, he fell down and dropped me into a tombstone pile driver, but dropped me without anything. So you see the picture, my neck is like this, and just knocked me out cold.
Oh my
Dropped me
God.
right on my neck and popped my spine.
So match was over at that point?
No, I kicked out at 2 and kept going. The referee goes, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, fine, fine." But no, I mean like tombstone pile drivers, package pile drivers, power bombs, choke slams, German suplexes, anything that involves landing close to your neck are painful.
I mean, you really have to trust your in-ring partner.
Oh, you got to trust them with your life, so you
Yeah.
really got to have that rapport with them ahead of time. Because most of the time you'll get there and you'll meet somebody, and go, "Hi, I'm Mark," and they go, "Hi, I'm Bob," and they're like, "All right, cool, have a good match," and that's it.
My finishing move is the tombstone pile driver. No.
Pass.
Pass. Yeah, you got somebody else?
Pass.
Give me the space monkey.
I can't wait to hit him in his face with his own tail today.
Oh, that's gonna be great. So we're super proud to have you here. You know, as a part of American Villain. How long have you been on this now? Like 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you guys used to come to shows, and I remember I was so nervous to come over and talk to you guys. It was at that Headlocks and Home Runs when I worked Hawkins.
Oh yeah, I remember.
You guys were over there, and I
too.
was quietly trying to walk over and say hello. I was too nervous, and then it was funny because
Well, we were nervous because we didn't know anybody there.
Mad Dog,
Yeah,
Bobby
Mad Dog,
Rogers,
yep.
my
That's
life,
how we got into the.
my life manager. Now he ended up introducing me to
Right.
you guys, and that was that. And then the ball was rolling from there.
Well, pretty much what I did is because we've known Mad Dog for years, through the club scene and whatnot. Is I reached out to him and said, "Hey, listen, I would really like to get involved with wrestling, but I only want to get involved with somebody that's good and that kind of falls in line with what American Villain is about." And he didn't even hesitate. He's like, "This is the kid you want to work with, Marc Hauss." So from there, the relationship has grown. And now to the point where you're actually employed by American Villain. You get out, you hustle, you're handling our marketing and our sales.
So
and our
anybody
street
that comes
team.
in and wants to be a part of American Villain and asks for sponsorships and whatnot, that's this guy right here
Yeah,
that
he
you're
is.
talking to. So I want to be able to see when you guys send me stuff, I want to see how bad you want to hustle and how many questions you have because I'm the king of hustle.
Oh, it's
So I
without a
wanna
doubt.
see it.
Without a doubt. And you have like that old school mentality that I have and that
Right.
Aaron has with American Villain. Yeah, you have to get out. Social media is awesome. I mean, it's
But
a
you got to
great
shake
platform.
hands and everything because I get to
Exactly.
the point where I'm sending out business cards. I put about 500 business cards out a month and order them all the time. And then on top of that, I am grinding. I wear it all the time. I talk about it all the time. I go to people's houses. I pitch, I pitch, I pitch, and I pitch. And I am consistently bringing in money for this company.
Without a doubt.
Every month.
Without a doubt.
Have to.
And we can't thank you enough for
I
that.
don't know. I love it. I love being a part of it.
Very cool. Is there anything else you want to talk about? I mean,
No,
no?
nothing really. If you want, find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at the Marc Hauss, MarcHauss. Find me. I have something posted every day to keep you entertained in this digital age where we all need instant gratification. Got it for you every day.
Without a doubt. And we'd like to say thanks to musicianstream.com for allowing us to do this
Absolutely.
on the American Villain channel. And everybody out there, make sure you tune in. Thursday nights at 7 o'clock is typically when Villain View is on, hosted by Big Villain Aaron Seaver.
Boom.
But this was a special edition, as I said earlier. Make sure you guys tune in. Find Villain View on Facebook. We always have events for everything that we do here, so you can kind of follow along. Check out AmericanVillainApparel.com for all of your apparel needs, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace!
Peace.